is who I am. So, welcome to the podcast. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the NFL draft. And my team, the Carolina Panthers, had an amazing draft. I just want to say, clap it up for us, Grubb. Clap it up, clap it up. Listen, J.C. Horn, amazing corner. We got Terrace Marshall, got some solid defensive linemen and line help, and that means we trust Sam Darnold. Now, I'm being pragmatic as I can be. Everybody said it's because of the Jets. It's because of the Jets. The Jets ruined him, man. He had so much potential. But his last year at USC, he had the most turnovers. That's all I'm worried about. But his arm is amazing, and he got a little shiftiness, a little quickness. I see it just a smidge. You know how they talk about the white boys. You know they got. Ooh, he's so elusive. He has like that. He's a crafty athlete. He has finesse. I'm like, hey, I hope that he can do it because I'm trying to go back to the Super Bowl. We're a very young team. All I want to do is make a wild card spot at this point because Brady got us on lock for the next 2 to 3 years. He said he'd go retire at 45. I don't know. He might be 50 when he's done. But we chilling. We good. So, Drew, how you feel about your Steelers and your Saints draft? Because I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna start with the Steelers. I think that they went right in terms of getting a running back because we desperately needed it. Since James Conner left, running back room is kind of looking thin.
Yeah,
looking non-existent.
Yeah, and who Benny Snell and that other guy. I think he's a very good receiving back, but that's kind of it. I don't remember his name, but he's solid.
But Najee Harris can really do all of that. Honestly, he can truck over people. Basically, he said it himself. He said that he can do what Le'Veon Bell did, but even better. I don't know about all of that, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
Possibility. Definitely has all the attributes to do that. So I am happy for the Steelers in terms of that. The other parts of the draft for the Steelers, it was just okay. It was overall pretty solid, but I think that they could have got a better lineman. I think I would have gone lineman first and then running back second, which a lot of people have said as Steelers fans. People are pretty upset at the Steelers, but I'm not too mad about the draft picks of the Steelers. The Saints, on the other hand, kind of disappointed.
Just a little. I'm just relishing in this. Just talk about it because
they got Peyton Turner in the first round. To me, he's not a first rounder at all. I've heard an analyst say that he's very reminiscent of Cam Jordan, and that's cool and all, but
I mean, hey, it's Cam Jordan. That's gives our offensive line hell every single time we play him. So hey,
true, but he would have
just a smidge, Yeah, y'all got Trey Hendrickson. He could be something, maybe.
True.
Don't worry, I'm not mocking you. I'm legitimately worried about that.
Yeah, I know. But I think that Peyton Turner could have been available to them in the second round. They could have got a cornerback. They could have got Asante Samuel. They could have got Kelvin Joseph. I would have liked those two picks more. Yeah. But it is what it is. They got Pete Warner, who I've heard his name a lot. I've heard a lot of good things about him. But personally, I prefer Jabril Cox from LSU. Just a better linebacker to me. And also, he's black and Pete Warner.
Exactly. We always got to pull. But hey, as a Panthers fan, I'm gonna be real. What that 8th pick, 2017, I was worried because I was like, wait, running back, and now, hey, that's my guy. Yeah. I rep 2-2 constantly. That is my boy. I will die on a hill defending him to his greatness. Because I was asleep. I was really asleep because all I heard was like, yo, there's this really nice running back in college. He might be RB1. And I was like, wait, what do he look like? I was like, oh, he looked like that.
Yeah.
Like he could be like just playing beer pong and just be chilling. But nah, Christian McCaffrey, like I call him white chocolate, just saying, because that's white chocolate right there. We support him. And I really do think that he is the best running back in the league. And everybody's now trying to find him now, which is something that I love because everybody now is like, we're tired of this third down back. Just give us one dude who can do everything and then we're good.
Alvin
But
Kamara.
yeah, and for our team and our like build and how we're built for the future, I am really praying that Sam Darnold's that one, the like comes that guy. I hope. I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know. But again, we have to play Tom Brady, and all of us are like, and there's issues I'm seeing with our fans. We're like, we passed on Justin Fields, we passed on Justin Fields. I'm like, yes, but we needed a quarter because I don't know if y'all saw Atlanta and New Orleans. Like we have the best wide receivers league in the NFL in one division,
Easily.
and we got to play them. We got to play them twice a year.
Yeah.
So like we got to play all these guys twice a year. So let's pump the brakes on all the oh no we needed Justin. I'm like let's see how Sam Darnold does, and if not, and if we suck, hey, we can get another pick next year. We will be okay. But
Yeah.
I really did enjoy this draft for us, and we had a lot of trades that I was always like, I don't know why we traded so many picks, but we got our guys, and I really feel a little bit of optimism. But the last time I was optimistic was last year, and we were 5-11, and in way too many close games that I can count. So hopefully, Sam Darnold is that difference. But yeah.
I will talk about the Carolina. I'll talk about one pick from the Carolina Panthers that I really like, besides obviously J.C. Horn and Terrace Marshall. But to get back on the Saints, I do think they got a steal in Paulson and Debo.
Yeah.
He's kind of Richard Sherman-esque in terms of playing cover 3, being that kind of bigger corner who likes to take risks. And when he takes risks, for the most part, it pays off. The only downside for him is sometimes he makes a risk and it turns out to not be in his favor. But other than that, he's a really good corner, and he would be one of the top corners if he didn't opt out of last season. So that was a steal, I think. I'm not too happy about the Ian Book draft pick.
I know y'all got Ian Book.
Like he's not going to start over any of the two quarterbacks that we already have. He's going to be a backup to them. So it's like, what's the point of adding him to the backup if he's not going to be any competition for two quote unquote starters of the team? So overall, I was kind of disappointed at New Orleans. They got their linebacker, they got a corner, which is the two things I think we needed the most. But I think they could have got better linebackers, a better corner. We could have got Peyton Turner at the second round. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
And also, to be completely real and transparent, like whenever I will say that, like, yo, I hate, like, this player is trash, just by no means, and this is just like a preface, just as a sports fan, I understand the work that these niggas put in, and I will literally watch film of them daily and understand that they are the 1% of the 1%. But even still, if they're hard on themselves and they want to do better, then I'm on them. Okay? But I'm not, but you can't just, but calling players trash, like, this show is also honestly player friendly. Okay? Because I really hate the way that media members talk about shit like they've been there, like they've been through the same stuff. I have not. But I'm not gonna talk bad about you when I know what you come from. And I've heard your stories. And I've seen your stories. I see you thriving, making millions of dollars. Because either way, like, as a media member, and this is your responsibility, is just to be as honest and transparent and not try to make yourself the character. Because I know I'm trying to get paid by doing this, but I'm not. But my character is this: I'm very player friendly and I'm honest, and I'm really transparent about what I'm seeing. And as a Lakers fan, and this is how I'm transitioning to the NBA. Andre Drummond, what are you doing, dude? Like, we literally traded for you, and you doing nothing, man. Nothing. And then Anthony Davis is working himself back. LeBron, I don't know, he's saying he's not 100%, saying the playing game's trash. And now we're like a chance of us being in the 7th seed. We're half game away from being in the 7th seed and having to be in a playing game. So, here's my issue. And we have a hard stretch coming up. So, as a Lakers fan, I am very concerned. I've never been more concerned about anything. However, I remember playoff LeBron. The last time I doubted LeBron making the finals was 2018. And that, to me, is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. Just carrying that team to that finals. That's
Right.
just the memory. The amount of times I was like, man, because that entire season I was like, dang, they really suck without Kyrie. They gonna need the Celtics. They got a squad. They got them young boys down there. They gonna do something. Toronto looking good. Then what happened? LeBronto. The
Yeah.
Indiana Pacers took them 7, and I don't even know how the heck that happened. But that's how bad they were. The Indiana Pacers, but Victor Oladipo was generational during that time. The
Yeah.
Indiana Pacers took them 7. LeBronto happened, and to Toronto Raptors fans, I'm sorry, but LeBronto did go crazy because that man just lost his mind. And then down 3-2 to the Celtics, literally put the team on his back and had back-to-back 40-point games. Then gets to the finals, drops 51, and if JR doesn't mess up, we don't know how that series could have gone. But that's the last time that happened. Now, do I think it might still have the same outcome and he might lose to the Nets? Absolutely, because there is no way. And you think that they're beatable, and we'll talk about that in a second. But who's guarding KD consistently, Kyrie consistently, and James Harden consistently on the Lakers? Who? Because this ain't like the Miami Heat. Because Jimmy Butler just lost his mind in the bubble, and so did Tyler Hero. This ain't that. This is not that. So even if we get to the finals, and the West this year is difficult, and every series might be 6 to 7 games. So, and then we got to go to the finals to play that Nets team, who isn't even fully healthy, and they only lost to the Bucks by 3 with like 16 turnovers and KD dropping 40. Only by 3. And James Harden's still injured on the bench, waiting in the wings, just cause. Like
True.
does that not scare anybody? Like,
True.
is anybody not worried?
True, but you do have to realize the Knicks been on a high streak. The
Yeah.
76ers is still the 76ers.
With a point guard who can't shoot. I'm just saying.
You have a center that drops 40.
Okay, yes. Joel Embiid is gonna go crazy in the playoffs. I have no doubt about that. Like Joel Embiid's gonna be on a warpath. But I don't think that they have enough to beat that Nets team. And if this Nets team loses, I feel like it's going to be like how the world reacted when the Clippers blew the 3-1 lead. Because the Nets, how they're built, they shouldn't lose. Because it's not just the fact that they have that big 3. It's Joe Harris, a dude who can shoot the lights out. Jeff Green's having a career resurgence that is just insane. Mm-hmm. Nick Claxton's like this really good young big who can defend really well. Then you got Landry Shamet, and then a bunch of other guys that can who just shoot threes. Like their job's like, hey, this is the Nets. Okay, let these guys get 30, and then y'all just shoot threes. And just chill. That's it. Just stay in the corner. They'll get it to you. That's it. That's all they have to do. And they play beautiful basketball too. Like that's also the annoying thing. It isn't just straight up isolation. Like they pass the ball really well. They defend. When they want to defend, they can defend. They just don't. They're just like, we're gonna be okay. But come playoff time, it's gonna be like there's gonna be good series. I think the Sixers series is the only one that I see that could go 6 or 7 because of Joel Embiid. Only because of Joel Embiid. Yeah, and that's the only reason why I think that they'll have a chance. Because I don't think Ben Simmons can't consistently guard Kyrie like that, or James Harden for that matter when he's playing point guard. And James Harden's gonna do his thing. But yeah, and the only thing that people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's the one thing that could stop the Nets is James Harden history for choking in the playoffs. And I'm like,
you can't really choke when you have.
I don't think he can with this team. You have Kevin Durant. You have Kevin Durant, and it's a testament to KD, the fact that they can just do.
Even if Harden drops 17 to 20 come playoff time, you still got KD and Kyrie.
Still got a 7-footer who could do whatever. And that's a testament to KD. And I'm never going to question the whole ring thing of, is his rings worth it? He got on by easy championships. And I was talking to some older like basketball fans about this, and I asked them questions. I was like, okay, so y'all telling me that a team that would three-peat back-to-back, almost back-to-back, like with the split where Michael Jordan like went to play baseball and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you don't think that was a super team at all? Like knowing that for 3 straight years, that team was going to go to the finals and probably win. Most likely. Like that wasn't a super team. Like everybody wants to act like Michael Jordan did it all by himself, but he had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Bill Paxton. And like they're just doing it now, and it's because of the social media era. But there would be the people that would hate, like, oh my gosh, how do the Bulls get all these good players? They're going crazy. Oh, like this should be illegal. I know there was probably fans like that, but they didn't congregate like that. And everybody wants to blame LeBron for the stupid team. I'll blame him partially because of what he did with the Heat, but it's not built like that team because they've already like had good pieces and they made the playoffs like a year before, like 2 years prior, and they were, I think, yeah, they made the playoffs 2 years prior and they were solid, but they were eighth seeds. They had good shooters. Then you have Katie and Kyrie getting healthy, and then they had James Harden. And everybody's talking about, oh, the league doesn't have parity anymore. And I'm like, that's fair to say, but it's also like the best teams will always get the best players because they are in the best locations. And as a Lakers fan, I'm like, everybody's like, oh, the Nets are getting off so easy. But why couldn't we do that? We could have gotten shooters. We could have. They're in LA. But we didn't. And that's why it sucks. But anyway,
Yeah.
how are you feeling about the whole NBA thing? Because I'm sorry, I just went on a tangent, but this is.
Nah, you good. I'll let you do your thing. Honestly, I'm just excited for the playoffs. The two teams that I'm most disappointed in, one in the West and one in the East. On the East side, I'm disappointed in the Celtics. I think they could have done so much better than what they're doing right now. To have 34 and 31, I think is their record. It just makes no sense to me to have all these young, really solid top 50 players on your team and to just be seventh in seeding, it sucks to
The
see.
fact that Jason Tatum had to drop 60 for them to come back from down 32 in their own house to a really, really like mediocre Spurs team, it's like, like I don't know how to feel about that, but yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Also the Pelicans, are so talented, They just cannot get it together, and it's the coaching. It's like I don't know what's wrong with New Orleans organizations in general, but they consistently get terrible coaching. At least in terms of basketball. Football, Sean Payton, cool, but basketball is bad coach after bad coach after bad coach. It's just like, when are y'all going to get it right? When are y'all going to see a great coach and recognize him, regardless if he's at the college level or if he's at the professional level or if he's a retired NBA star? Like, pick somebody who really knows the game and can get young kids to turn into something like real. And now once again you have a star on your team who was ready to leave. This already happened with AD. And now
I'm talking about like New York is like really nice. It's really it looks nice. I would love to play there. And yeah, I think for y'all, like, and I don't know, because I thought Sam Van Gundy's return would like bring something and galvanize them, because I ultimately I was always a person who was like, and even though Zion went to Duke, like I was like putting brakes on the hype trade, because I was like, you know what, y'all are placing him that LeBron and MJ, and he hasn't even stepped on that court, so let's just give him time, let him just do his thing. Now I'm like, oh nah, there's no way that they shouldn't be making the playoffs, because that you can't guard that dude, and if he gets a jump shot consistently, you're not guarding him at all. At all. Like that dude, like Zion is that dude. BI is that dude. Lonzo is steadily improved this year, and they're just wasting it, because Lonzo's now a good 3-point shooter. Right. 3 years ago, everybody was like, dang, bro, like, can't even, like, it was bad. Like, and now that team's so just, it's
not looking good, man.
Yeah. I think, though, I would give Sam Van Gundy another year, maybe, but ultimately, y'all might need a coaching change to like fit Zion more, and then surround him. Just keep Brandon Ingram and Lonzo, but then surround Zion and him and the guys with more shooters, because ultimately that's how you're gonna win. Because that's how the Nets, that's how all these teams are doing it. They're just going to just shoot the lights out. But talking about the play-in tournament, and there's a bunch of like controversy surrounding it, because LeBron yesterday is like, yo, this was so stupid. Like, why are we doing this? And I think it's because this is the first time LeBron's like seeing the West. Like, the West really is. Like
Yeah,
he
real.
like because back when he was out east, it wasn't like this. Like this is the West when everybody's healthy and everybody's going hard. And Phoenix, Utah, and the Clippers and the Nuggets. I oh, I've never been more worried about playoffs with this man because again, that was in the East. This is the West,
Yeah, it's
and
different.
everybody is there's always like a bunch of dudes who can go out there. I'm not saying that the East wasn't like that, but the East is everybody knows
It's
it's
weaker. Yeah,
significantly
it's weaker.
weaker. It's
Yeah,
significantly weaker. So you got, and then you also might have to deal with Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic, or Steph Curry in one of these playoff games, in one of these playing games. So there's that. And as a fan of the Lakers, I really am just sitting here like, yo, we might it's looking spooky out here. So playoff Braun, I know he's in there, and I know he's been there. I'm gonna need him to show up and show out. And if he beats it, if he goes on a run and he beats the Nets, he's the greatest player of all time.
yeah,
There is
easily,
no,
easily. Yeah,
there is no debate. Hey, y'all can't tell me Michael Jordan
no
faced
way,
guys like this
no
with
way.
7-footers shoot threes like this, with dudes with ball handling skills and being able to like control offenses in ways we've never seen it before. Y'all can't tell me. Y'all can say, "Oh, no defense is played." Nah. You
No,
can't guard. These are guys that are literally built in labs. Okay, they're like creative players. Like if he beats those guys, he's the greatest. And I don't
yeah,
even care that it's his fifth ring. That right there, nobody's touching me on that.
yeah.
But
You can't
yeah,
beat the Jazz and then the
like
Sun and then beat the Nets. Like,
yeah, and we might play the Clippers in the first round, and that worries me because I feel like the Clippers gonna be out for blood. Because then Paul George this season, like I was okay. The one thing that I hated about Paul George was the fact that he would always talk and not back it up. And then like everybody in the media just is like, "Oh my gosh, pandemic P." But he's looked solid this year.
yeah,
Kawhi, although he's been hurt, he's still doing his thing, being the silent assassin that we know he is. But like in the addition of Rondo, and Rondo, man, that man's a hired gun. I swear.
yeah.
Anyway, he's just a hired gun. He's like, hey, you need somebody to control your offense? Here, just get me.
Yeah,
But
he
no,
does.
and I love Rondo. I love
He's
Rondo. Like that dude, he's going to do some good stuff in the playoffs. But I'm always like, it's the Clippers. Are they going to just face plant again? And the one thing I worry about is if they play us, they're going to be out for blood, and we might get. So I either think we're either going all the way to the finals and winning, or we're getting knocked out in the first round. So it's like it's a span of both those feelings. But
yeah.
I really think that this year's playoffs are going to be some of the best basketball we've seen in years. But
So,
yeah, and so now I'm going to transition to the more music segment, and we're in almost like the fifth month. We're in the fifth month of the 2021, and there hasn't been that many releases, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" But yeah, so this music thing, like everybody's worried. I honestly think though, everybody's prepared for summer because everybody's going to be outside. And this week, somebody from TDE is dropping. It's probably going to be Isaiah Rashad. Like as a massive Kendrick
That's
fan, it's not happening. It's not. I have no faith in TDE when it comes to that. Like
no,
TDE is that like is a label that always like it's intriguing to say the least about how they plan their releases because they know. I guess it's like they're trying to like generate the hype, but like all the songs that have been released by them, like in the past like couple of years, like people are gravitating towards. Like that's why people weren't as hyped for Schoolboy Q's album as they should have been, or J Rock's. And I love Redemption. I like Crash Talk, but like it's not. It doesn't feel like their best artists that they have are Kendrick, SZA, and Isaiah Rashad. And J Rock, I'll put him in there too. And I like Schoolboy Q. I love Blank Face LP. But like Kendrick, SZA, and Isaiah Rashad have just a massive fan base, and they know how much money they can make. So why not drop their albums? Why not drop the videos? I'm just trying to see something because I ain't seen anything from him in 5 years, her in 4, except Good Days and Hit Different. And that's it. That's all we've got. And now she's on Kiss Me More, and she killed it with Doja. Like SZA's doing her thing.
right.
But I want SZA to drop something. okay, or Isaiah Rashad. Those are the only two. But what about you, man?
I think the person, me, I don't really care who drops. I don't really care. I just want somebody from TDE to drop. But who I think it will be, I think it will be Isaiah Rashad. It's been way too long,
Yeah,
way too long. And I never really get that from artists. Like I get a year break, 2 years break, cool, maybe even a three, but like, nah, not a three.
5 years.
When it
Five
gets to
years.
3, 4, 5
Yeah.
years, it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you nervous and trying to recreate your old sound that got you on the map, or
Yeah.
like what's really going on? Because I think I don't get that. For somebody who likes to make music, why not make music and release it? You know,
Mhm.
to let everybody hear what you've been working on and stuff like that. Unless you're just not that passionate about the music. In that case, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But hopefully it is Isaiah Rashad. I do want to
Mhm.
see where he's taking his music now. How he's grown or how he's changed. If he has. I just really hope it's good though. Regardless of whoever's album it is, I hope it's good. I hope it's been well produced.
Mhm.
That it looks like it's the perfect time to drop because it'll be really upsetting for anybody on TDE to drop. Besides Reason because he just dropped.
Yeah.
Um, to hear something from them and it not be some of their best work.
Yeah. There's also like stuff like like even a new Sir album I wouldn't mind. There's
That was
artists like that label is loaded with talent. You're just looking at like we want more and like this is the issue I have as a music fan because I always want to prioritize like the artist's mental health and stuff like that. But like honestly, Beyonce's not dropping because she's out here being a billionaire and building it, starting to become a billionaire and build her
right.
empire. Kanye doesn't care because he's doing all these business deals. Like I don't need a new album from the people who I know are just doing other stuff. But like
Right.
when I don't know what's happening, it's like okay,
Mm-hmm.
like like for Kendrick, and this is just as a massive fan. Like after Damn and the Black Panther soundtrack, I submitted him. I'm like, yep, he's the greatest ever. He done. We're done. No debate. He's the greatest to ever do it. And now I'm like, dude, it's been 3 years and I've got nothing except like a feature here or there. And I'm just like, what we doing, bro? Like, what we want more. We need more. And he is. Yeah, I think it's a testament to an artist's greatness of how starving the fans are for the music. But again, I always have that fear of stuff like that after what happened with Whole Lotta Red and the hype around that, and just we hyped up so many projects. And then the fans, is the second it drops, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is trash. This is mid. This is terrible." And why did we tell? Why the hell did we invent the term mid? That's so fucking stupid. Like, why mid? Like, no album truly you can think is like average to you because of
No.
the enjoyment you can get from it. That's stupid. That's stupid. Just say
Yeah.
it's trash or it's good. Like
Yeah.
there's no you
Mid
can't
basically
be in the
trash.
middle ground at
Yeah,
all.
mid is trash for me at
Yeah.
least. Yeah,
And
I think that the fact that fans are fiending for a Kendrick album and the SZA album and stuff like that means that unfortunately I don't I think it means they have more to prove or there's more that they can do
mm,
for us. It's like with other like artists, like you said, Kanye, Rihanna, even for me, Jay-Z,
yeah.
Beyonce for me, they
They
don't
don't
have
need
to
to.
drop another
They're
album
good.
ever again. They've already proved to me they've what they can do, what they have done. Their legacy is their legacy. That's a closed chapter. I'm perfectly fine with that. With Kendrick though, I feel like there's so much more he could do in
Yeah.
terms of production, in terms of his lyrics, in terms of his stories.
Yeah.
That
Because
I
his
might.
the only like two best produced albums that people genuinely loved were like all of them were produced really well, but like Damn and Good Kid, Mad City to me like had like the best like just like typical hip hop sound, but that's To Pimp a Butterfly is just in its own world and realm of just good like jazzy soulful production that I and that's my personal favorite Kendrick album. But it's between that and Good Kid, Mad City. I switch all the time, but
Mhm.
I really think that those two are gonna do their thing. And J. Cole keeps teasing this offseason more recently. I saw the Boss post about 2 weeks. J. Cole talking about he driving in the whip of the city. Listen, man, Jermaine, Jermaine, you don't understand how much I need that album, bro. You are, and I always think that out of the big three, he's the most comforting to all of us because Kendrick Lamar, it's like this high level, like, oh, it's thought provoking stuff. J. Cole is more of the simplistic, like it's like your big brother talking to you and giving you life and giving you game. And then Drake is like this, like you're like this OG, like this boss dude who's just like over here, like this is
Yeah.
how I did it, and I'm sad while doing it, but I did it. And listening to and also that and Certified Lover Boy, I really I really want that to happen. And this week, weirdly, I want to talk about this with you. I was listening to Views,
Mhm.
and I have a really short question. Why the hell did y'all hate this album? Like
Don't
just
yeah.
front to
Don't,
back, like a front to back, just from pure hits,
nah,
his
let's talk
bars,
about him.
everything, production, the mood, the sad songs too. Everything he did
Nah, let's
on that album was amazing. Like let's pull it up.
yeah, let's
Like
put
I
it.
can I listened to it. I was like, wait, y'all said this was trash?
Okay, I got the list right here. So I'm gonna start with the hits first. Okay, so you got nine.
Yes.
Come on, man. You got
I'm
hype.
sorry.
You got Rustin Road Flows. You got
Listen,
bro. What? You
you
got
with me?
Stereo,
Feel
you
no
got
ways. Good
one
feeling
day.
song. One dance.
Come
Control it.
on.
Faithful.
Wow.
Divisions. The ending part of Division on Faithful sounds like you're ascending to heaven
Nah,
and
for
it's
real.
just amazing. Then you have One Dance. You have that.
Come on.
Grammys. One of the best Future and Drake collabs. Child's Play. Pop Pops Out, I can give or take. That's the only song that I really don't care about. Summer's
Mhm.
Over interlude. Fire and
Music.
Desire. The title track where he
Views.
again where he goes crazy and Hotline Bling.
Come
All
on, bro.
on the same album.
Come on, bro.
And y'all were like, oh no, this trash. Like, I don't think, honestly, let's take a step back, and this is for Drake's career. I don't think that he has dropped a consistently just a flop, like a terrible album
No.
ever. Like that, like just every like I
Literally
think
half
that
of
people say
it is
Drake's run was
underrated.
from like 2011 to 2015. I stretch it to 2016, and then I have mixed feelings about More Life because
Yeah,
I
I think that was his worst album for me.
that's his worst album. But the fact that More Life is his worst album, and he has what song on More Life, and he has Do Not Disturb on that,
He got
and
hits.
that's his worst. That's what people say that was his worst album. Like
Yeah, come
we
on, bro.
really need to like just take a step back and be like, yo,
Can't
Drake's
do
one of the ones. Like I don't say that lightly, say anything that like that lightly, but Drake really is one of the ones where it's just like you have to just admire it
it. Yeah,
because
100%.
he he does what he does and he exists in his lane and he does it better than most people have ever done it. Like the only person I think who does what Drake does in his lane better is Jay-Z and maybe
Yeah.
Kanye. And maybe Kanye. But like just being able to like emote while also being rich and like first off, why does he's richer than most people that we know in our entire life. Why the heck does he have us feeling sad? Why does he have us missing a girl that we haven't seen in 2 years or some stupid stuff? Like, why? The fact that he can do that is something that we need to admire. And like, people will always be like, oh, no, I don't like being in my feelings, bro. I'm like, bro, come on. You know that there's that playlist that you got at 12 o'clock at night with Bryson Tiller, Giveon, Brett, whoever that you need to just get your
Mhm.
mind right. All right.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
and the fact that Drake makes music like that and he succeeds in that lane so well is something that I admire. But then when he
Right.
raps, he can go,
When he,
and
bro.
that's what people want more. I want more of that personally because after listening to Western Road Flows again, like I was just like, dude, what are you on, bro? Like
He's
it
been
was just
dropping
some.
some over the past year,
Mm,
with Dark Lane demo tapes and Scary Hours too. Like he has been like talking his shit. Like
yeah.
what was that song from Dark Lane demo tapes?
Um,
There
Deep
was a song,
Pockets, When to Say
Deep Pocket.
When,
Yes, when to say, bro, he
and
went
then
off.
When to Say When was just like that. That right there was the most like flexing. Like I'm just looking at Drake like, oh, okay, dude, you're in your mode. And then like Lemon Pepper freestyle like that. Drake and Rick Ross just together. Just, that's their own thing. That's MJ. Like I saw like I think Cal Kuzma tweeted that they're the MJ and Pippen of this raps. Like they really whenever they're on a track together, it's beautiful to see it. And Lemon Pepper freestyle, that was I think that was the time where a song where Drake just was like, yo, he doesn't have to rap about making it anymore. He's done it. He's just rapping about he's just relishing in his success.
Flex the whole time. I mean, each time
it just like
it was a different type of flex too. Like that was
like it's just like he's talking about something. I'm like, dude, you got Emiratis, like you working with oil princes out here, like you just
right.
Yo played. You got French embassy. Like your house is called the embassy because that's how rich you are. You got a motorcade around your 3-year-old son. You got moms talking about like, yo, how like do you know Beyonce, Nicki Minaj? Like, do you like?
Of course.
Do you,
like, of course.
Yeah, I do. What do you think? Look at me. I'm Drake.
Talking about Pat Mahomes is down a couple hundred, like down a couple $100,000. Like, come on,
500 million. $500,000. And he down a couple. Like that was where I was like, yo, no, this dude's done. Yeah. He's done it, and I think that I like that about Drake now because he's looking up from the mountaintop, and I think that Kendrick never feels like he has to do that. He just talks about the Black experience. It's never like him looking down from the mountaintop. He talks about being the greatest rapper ever, but he never does it like that and flexes like Drake
does. He doesn't do real materialistic flexing.
Yeah.
His stuff
Neither does J. Cole. But the thing that I love about Drake is that materialism, but it sounds so good. And it's done so well. But it's and
like it's not like the South where it's like, you know, they just say, oh, I got this chain, oh, I got the money to my ear, and stuff like that. It's some Jay-Z type of bars where it's like really poetic, really you wouldn't get it if you was just chilling, not trying to listen to the lyrics. But if you listen, and it's like, dang, he got all of that? That's what he doing?
Because I remember when Scary Hours 2 dropped, I just sat back and I just kept playing back Lemon Pepper freestyle. And I was just like, you just said that. Like, you're that rich now. Like, and I think that it's weird when you're part of a fan base and you were there, like, in the early stages, so you still see them as, like, who they were. Because I remember, like, everybody, when they were kids, like, from our generation, like, when Best I Ever Had came out, all of us were acting light skin in the mirror. Like, everybody remembers that. Everybody has that memory, like, baby, you made it. They just going crazy, right? But now it's like, okay, this dude has made it so far and surpassed every level that we think that rapper should be on. Because honestly, like he's different. He's in a different tax bracket and different wealth than a bunch of rappers. And that's who he is. And I'm glad that that's the music that he's making now. And he's
it's really luxury. Like,
it's really luxurious. Like we're not gonna get another Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, or if you're reading this, it's too late type run. Because that was when he was still in really rap, but then he was transitioning into becoming a pop star.
Right.
Now, he's doing his pop star stuff, and he's killing it. And now he's still bringing it back to, like, I'm still a very nice rapper. Put some fucking respect on my name. And he does that shit. And he does it really well. And also, I want to talk about this. So, I typically don't like talking about pop music and I'm also seeing like a bunch of stuff on TikTok about like people trashing rap, and I'm just like, I'll talk about that later. But Billie Eilish, like I first started listening to her like in early 2018 before she dropped her second album, because a bunch of my friends in high school, like they went to one of her concerts and they were like front row. This was like when she was like, she only had like maybe 100K followers or something. Like I wasn't like really big on her. And then like I listened to her and I'm like, yo, this white girl is using rap aesthetics and she's doing a damn good job about it. And she's cool as hell. And she's cool as hell. She's friends with a bunch of these rappers that I like Denzel Curry and Earth Gang. And I see her doing all that. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me listen to her. And it's this thing that I always bring up. Black people, we love when a white artist has soul because we're accepting of everybody. But when a white person specifically has soul and feeling an emphasis in their songs, That's why we were all so heartbroken when Mac Miller passed.
Yeah.
Like when Mac Miller passed, like that white like swimming, like that entire album just filled with just this jazzy soul funk feel. And we
Mm-hmm.
were like, dude, we love that from you. Like
Yeah.
Jack
Right.
Harlow, Jack Harlow makes very good club music that you can just
Yeah.
vibe to.
Very
Like it,
popular.
I don't even. I just need Jack Harlow to make club music, and I could just jam. Like I don't need nothing else from him.
Right.
But and he can rap too. And then you have artists like Billie Eilish who are in this pop lane, but they're like, yo, I'm gonna use rap in some of my songs, use rap aesthetics in
Mhm.
some of my songs, make it fire, and have a massive fan base. And that's why I love. I think that people need to stop trying to diss hip hop and understand how many people use rap aesthetics. Because how many pop songs have 808s now? Like
Yeah.
how many pop songs have rap beats on them or rappers trying to like help boost a feature in the
This
sale?
is really soulful in general.
Like y'all keep white people keep, and this is mostly white fans who will keep saying like, oh my gosh, like indie music is so much better. You know why indie music's indie music? Because they're not as famous as rappers.
Right.
Like let's keep it a beat. You know, and even if you listen to artists like Clara or something, like she literally uses rap aesthetics in her music. You
Yeah.
can't escape it. We created this genre. All of y'all decided to try to commodify it and use it for your own, but y'all can't because black people are. You have to get co-signed by black people in order to make it as a white person in hip hop. It's not like other genres where black people, they have to fit in with the white people to do it. No, you have to commodify to us, and we still have that. Like, there's this TikTok I saw where a girl was talking about like they hate rap because they can't whitewash it. Because that's what they did to rock. That's what they did to country. That's what they did to blues.
Right.
That's what they did to jazz. They did all of that, but they're not touching this ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Rap is
And
so.
I love that. I love that for us because nobody's
Yeah.
ever touching rap. And yeah, I'm very passionate about that because nobody.
Nah. Yeah. Rap is just so pure in terms of
Mhm.
just its blackness that you can't take it and like you can't take it without us giving you the approval. Now I
Yeah.
do have problems with us how loose we are with gatekeeping. Like
Yes,
I think we have
dear
a
God,
serious problem with that.
that just
Even with Billie Eilish, because I remember Billie Eilish made some comments about having rapper friends and saying that, oh, what she does is telling stories, and even though my stories may not be true, they still are powerful and people can relate to it.
yeah,
But rappers lie in their raps. Like she says right here, just because the story isn't real doesn't mean it can't be important. She told Vogue, there's a difference between lying in a song and writing a story. There are just tons of songs where people are just lying.
yeah,
And she implying like rap. And then she goes into saying, there's a lot of that in rap right now from people that I know who rap. She continues, it's like I got my AK-47 and I'm fucking and I'm like, what? Like, come on, bro. You can't.
yeah. And that's my thing. Like Billy can't bite the hand that feeds her because honestly, she wouldn't. I don't think that she would have the fan base that she has, especially with black people that she does, without the fact that rappers co-signed her and that we really rock with her music. Like and I'm really mad at, and I also want to talk about the gatekeeping thing because that's something that's really huge to me because
Dude,
we we literally like even with AAVE and when white people use that incorrectly, it just grinds the gears. It hurts my soul. It hurt, like it doesn't sound right in its own separate language. And it's something that we learn from growing up with each other and growing up in certain areas. And AABE is different per area. Like New York is way different from Atlanta, which is way different from Louisiana, which is way
right.
different from California or North Carolina. There's stuff like that. But the fact that white people still just want to get in and like be cool and like there's so much stuff that's been commodified by white people, like the whole sheesh thing and doing this and the light skin face, black people, like
Bro,
everything.
we've been knocking light skin face for
We
years, bro. For
we've been
years.
doing this, and now it's a trend, and now it's because white everything's trendy when white people do it,
Come
and
on,
it's
bro.
stupid.
Come on,
It's
bro.
so dumb. I'm like, bro. And that's why I'm like, yo, black people just we need to do our own, be cool doing our own thing without trying to feel like we need to please white people
Right.
or because like or pander to them because that's the issue that I find with us, like when it comes to like telling our stories, because there's this new show out. It's called Yasuke, right? And I told you about it. I texted you
Yeah,
about
I
that.
started watching it. Started watching.
Yeah. First off, there's been shows about Black Samurais. This is different.
Yeah,
Like the music hits different,
bro.
animation hits different.
That's
Directed by literally by Flying Lotus and a bunch of black creators.
she's
And yeah, and black people and our love for anime, like it's there because and I feel that we need to protect our love for anime and like how we like describe like our headcanons
mm-hmm.
because and this is like when you get more into anime, you're not fully with it yet. I got you now, trust
Right.
me.
I'm gonna get
But
there.
black people in anime, like the reason why we love it is because it's all about an outsider coming up. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we love Naruto because his whole story is about how a dude who was literally rejected by everybody because of something that he couldn't control and they
Right.
hated him and they treated him like crap and over again they becomes the most powerful person there and
Mm-hmm.
he becomes that and it takes him forever to do it but once he does it he's achieved that like people don't understand what that means to us what that how impactful that is to see that in media and then people are always like but oh no but they're dark skinned and when we see dark skinned characters we immediately associate them with black like Katara and
Right.
Sokka in Avatar's not anime. I always thought Katara was a black girl and I
Yeah.
was in love. Sokka, that was Big Bro over there. You feel me? Like y'all don't understand. When we're so underrepresented in media, when we see stuff in animation like that, it gives us joy, it gives us pride. It's like this is who we are.
And the other thing is, they don't even have to. Let's say it's just animals, bro. It could be
Mm-hmm.
animals that have names like us, who kind of talk like us, who kind of
Yeah.
dress, maybe like have the same name.
Backyardigans, like everybody was black in the
Bro,
backyardigans. We
we
do.
claim people, we claim
We
animals
claim animals. We claim Piccolo. He green.
like while other like that's the thing though, like white people they just see them as animals or fictional characters or myths, but we put a race to them because we are so underrepresented that anything that kind of resembles us
Yeah.
we have to claim for ourselves to feel like we made it, which
Mm-hmm.
is I hate that.
Yeah, and what I'm loving more and what I'm seeing, and I don't know if you see like all the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. I don't know if you have you see, did you watch all the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I didn't see that. I have to.
Okay, you need to finish that because I'm gonna like first off, Captain America is now canonically black. Y'all can cry about it. I don't care. Captain America is now black in canon. First off, like that man, that the fact that means something to me. Like, because I'm a nerd. Like, I'm a huge superhero, Marvel, Star Wars anime fan, right? So, Star Wars, the issue that I had with that is that they screwed us over of getting a black Jedi other than Mace Windu with how they did John Boyega in that trilogy.
Right.
Because y'all can't have him pick up a lightsaber and just say, "Oh, he's just force sensitive." That's bullshit. Then, on top of that, every other Marvel side character that we get, literally, Rhodey, lame. I'm sorry, he sucks. Falcon was the only one that we were like, hey, you one of the ones, bro. We really rock with you. Black Panther. The reason why that was as impactful to us was because Africa was winning. We literally controlled the most important metal on the planet, and black people were succeeding. But you know what they had to do? They had to give it. They had to try to give to more white people. Be like,
Right.
hey,
Exactly.
you can be in this
Literally.
country. No,
That was a whole plot of the
like
whole thing.
Killmonger was right. Now in 2021, 2018, people would have said that 2021 me knows. Killmonger was right because literally we could have just had an entire monopoly on the most precious metal on this planet and have an entire army that nobody can mess with because we're so technologically advanced, and then just give it out whenever we want to, and then make sure that we're protecting black people around the globe. That's it. We could just have sanctuaries for black people with these army members stationed so that nothing would happen. If Wakanda existed, everybody would want that.
Everybody.
But then some people will be like, but no, like there's some white people. No. Like the only reason why like Martin Freeman was like really cool was because as soon as he was saying about black people, he was like, yo, I owe y'all a favor. Throw up this and help save Wakanda. That's why we liked it.
Right.
But that's the issue that I have with how Black Panther ended was because it was so much of this. Oh, like we need to share our resources. Share resources with poor countries in Africa. Share resources with black people who are
Thanks.
down bad. Not with not with
Thanks.
these white people. Because I'm sorry,
Right. They
Tony
were sending it
Stark
to like Great
is a
Britain and
strong
America.
representation of the military industrial complex. Like
Right.
that dude has literally destroyed killed millions with his weapons in impoverished countries because he's a massive arms producer. How
Right.
many times has Tony Stark destroyed the world? Like almost destroyed the world. Like let's keep this a being.
Yeah.
Why would we give that technology potentially over to him? Okay, like
Mhm.
that does that not make sense to anybody? But
Yeah.
it's just yeah, I just don't like how that movie ended, and but I still love the representation, right? But
yeah.
now I see stuff like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like Yasuke, like and there's a bunch of other shows I'm seeing where it's like where black people are finally getting representation as
Mm.
superheroes, as different people, and it's not relying on. And I had to concede with myself this: like we can have black people in space, but there's gonna racism's obviously gonna come up because we can't
Mm.
escape it. But that can't be the only reason why we're doing our thing, right?
Right.
Like shows like Lovecraft Country, where it shows black people doing magical stuff, but you're more afraid of the racism around them than the actual magical creatures that could kill them. Like
Right.
there's a scene in the first episode, right? They're driving through a sundown town. It's the 1950s. They're driving down a sundown town, and then like they make it, and then the cops they're surrounded by police officers, and all of a sudden, all these like very like weird looking vampires things comes out and starts killing the police officers. And in my head, I was like, those they're really allies right there. You know, they really
Mhm.
support the community. They with us. Shout out to them vampires real quick. But they rip off their faces, right? And then you're more scared of the cops than those creatures because the creatures literally just look at the black people like, oh, y'all good? Y'all can chill. We just go handle these police officers and y'all can
Mm.
be on your merry way. But it's stuff like that that makes engaging television. Like, I either think that black people, we either need to talk about what oppresses us, but then we rise above it. But it
Mhm.
can't just be us dying meaninglessly. And that's why I
Yeah.
also wanted to talk about like Two Distant Strangers. I don't know if you saw that, but Joey
Yeah.
got his Oscar off of that. But I
Uh,
looked at that and I was like, yo,
oh.
Diddy, what what y'all doing, dog? Because yeah, that was our Groundhog Day.
It just don't make no sense, bro. Like, why do we always have to
Why do
do?
we have to die?
Yeah,
You feel
like
me?
even in was it Thug Life or The Hate That You Give? Yeah, Hate
Yeah,
That. Bro, nigga died in like the first 20 minutes.
facts. Like we can't be
Oh
represented
my
in
God.
media as either
Yeah,
the success. There's very few examples of us winning or us either we either have to die or have a terrible loss. But people will be like, but that's just the hero's journey. I get it. I get that that's
oh,
like a narrative theme. But for black people, we don't need that stuff in the hero's journey. We need us to live through the entire movie, royally
right.
fucking shit up. That's what we need. We need that for our spirit because
We
we
like
go through that on the daily. We're just worrying whether we'll die.
right
Like,
because like white people have all of these movies about superheroes that sacrifice their life or die because like usually most of the time if they're in the right position they're going to survive at the end of whatever war or conflict it is. For us, it don't even have to be a war. You could just be going to the park and
yeah,
that's
we could
it.
literally go to the park, walk, live in our own backyards, and get shot for
Yeah.
for, for the free. And people want to act that that we're truly equal, that we're still truly equal because oh basketball player, oh NFL player, oh rapper. We had to get into those systems. The NFL had to be integrated. The NBA had to be integrated. Rap music was just thought to be a fad, and now it's everywhere. The
Right.
fact, and that's what we want to see us overcoming. We don't
Right.
want to see because that's the story of black people. It's not us just dying. It's not us just losing our lives. It's the fact that we've overcome all that shit. And we're still overcoming it. That's what we need to see. That's what'll give the black kids hope of what the like 10-year-old black kid who's worried that a cop might look at him the wrong way, had to have a
Mhm.
bad day, and kill him. He needs to look and see that Captain America's black, and he could be Captain America too. That dream that you
Mhm.
could give a kid is so powerful. Like, I don't know if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, but the scene where Miles jumps off the building and like What's Up Dangerous playing, that's to me is like the symbol of what it means to feel like you're free. truly, because you're fully becoming who you are and who you're meant to be, and you're embracing it, and
Mm.
you're not worried about dying. Black, that was impactful to me as a black kid because every single time I'm walking across the street and I see a police officer, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm not free because they could kill me and
get away
they
with
could
it.
get they could get away with it. My family's not gonna know no justice. Like that freedom is something that kids needed to see. And that's what I want us, and I want to be able to be one of the people that create that, because
Right.
I don't think it's going to be created with all these white studio heads. So I think like some art creators like RDC World and Issa Rae and stuff, like
Hmm.
they're showing just black people existing in their element and loving what they love and being free. And that's
Right.
what we enjoy. And that's
That's why.
why RDC World and Issa Rae are my favorite creators
Yeah. That's
ever.
why they have their own festival.
Yeah. They have
Like,
their own like they have their own moves. That's what I would want. That's my dream. Like I just have a place where like black creative people can be together and be like, look, we're doing this and we're creating stuff where black people are victims but they're winning,
mhm.
and that's the true story of just how we overcome. But
Yeah.
yeah, I digress. I went out of Yeah, that was a really long tangent, but that was very important for us to have because
Mhm.
this generation is crazy. So anyway, next episode we will be talking probably a bit more about gatekeeping and weapon modifying, and also just the entire just the NFL in general, just quick NFL preview about who we think is going to be great this season, some sleeper teams and
Ooh-wee.
stuff like that.
I
And
can't wait.
honestly, Steelers get some more offensive linemen for your boy.
Mhm.
Saints do whatever. Y'all can suck for all I care because Panthers going crazy. We go to the chip, baby. I'm lying to myself though,
Chip?
just a little,
I don't know.
just
The
a little,
Browns,
just a little,
the
just
Browns
a
might.
little.
The
First
Browns.
round, first round. That's all I want. That's all I want. But yeah, that's it. Hope y'all have a good day. Peace.
All right, y'all.